Hi, my name is Sarah Fincher, and today I'd like to talk to you about the RMS Queen Mary. First, here's my audience. Last summer, while on my honeymoon, my husband booked us a room at the RMS Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. Knowing only that she was a haunted ship, I was very excited to spend some time experiencing that. What I learned about her was so much more interesting in detail than I had imagined. Here's some facts that make her one of the most unique ships in the world. Her construction began in 1930 in Clydesbank, Scotland, and she was originally going to be named for Queen Victoria, but King George V inadvertently named him for his wife, Queen Mary. On May 27, 1936, Queen Mary departed from Southampton, England on her maiden voyage. For 3 years after her maiden voyage, the Queen Mary was the grandest ocean liner in the world, carrying Hollywood celebrities like Bob Hope and Clark Gable, royalty like the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, and dignitaries like Sir Winston Churchill. She boasted 5 dining areas and lounges, 2 cocktail bars and swimming pools, a grand ballroom, a squash court, and even a small hospital. As World War II started, Queen Mary's transformation into a troop ship had begun. She was painted a camouflaged gray color and stripped of her luxurious amenities, which, along with her stealth and speed, led to the nickname the Gray Ghost. The Queen Mary was the largest and fastest troop ship to sail, capable of transporting as many as 16,000 people. On July 21, 1947, the Queen Mary resumed regular passenger service across the Atlantic and continued to do so for 2 decades. On October 31, 1967, the Queen Mary departed on her final cruise, arriving in Long Beach, California on December 9, 1967. What I'd really like to speak about is her involvement in World War II and all of her achievements before being retrofitted as a passenger ship once again. I'd also like to talk about one of the most interesting facts about the Queen Mary. She's a haunted ship and one of the most haunted places in the world, some say. This plays a big part in why she is so popular and has become a very successful hotel, museum, and tourist attraction. The Queen Mary's peacetime voyages were temporarily suspended at the outbreak of World War II. On March 1, 1940, Queen Mary was officially called up for war. As a first step, her pre-war livery was replaced by a drab coat of what the Royal Navy called light sea gray. This camouflage, together with her great speed, would be Queen Mary's principal defense against marauding German U-boats. Queen Mary's primary mission would be to ferry troops to battlefronts where she was most needed. She was outfitted to carry 15,000 troops plus crew. On one voyage alone, she transported over 15,000 troops and 943 crewmen for a grand total of 16,683 people. Between June 1943 and April 1945, the Queen Mary carried nearly 340,000 American and Canadian troops on journeys that covered 570,000 miles. Despite being an active ship during wartime, she only had 49 reported deaths throughout her whole career. However, she did slice the HMS Curaçao, a escort ship, in half, killing upwards of 300 people. Winston Churchill traveled on the Queen Mary 3 times during World War II and considered it his headquarters at sea. In fact, he even signed the D-Day Declaration on board. He said, "Built for the arts of peace and to link the old world with the new, the Queens, Victoria and Mary, challenged the fury of Hitlerism in the Battle of the Atlantic. Without their aid, the day of final victory would unquestionably have been postponed." Queen Mary was retired from service in 1967. On September 27th, she completed her 1,000th and last crossing of the North Atlantic, having carried 2.1 million passengers over 3.8 million miles. The Grand Dame was given a new life as a hotel, museum, and tourist attraction after being permanently docked in Long Beach, California. It was then that staff and visitors began to report unusual sounds and ghostly apparitions in nearly every part of her. Reported ghosts include a young sailor who was accidentally killed in the ship's engine room, crew members of the Curaçao who were killed when the Queen Mary collided with her, and the unidentified lady in white. Other phenomena include occurring throughout the ship are the sounds of distinct knocks, doors slamming, high-pitched squeals, drastic temperature changes, and the aromas of smells long gone. Twilight tours, seances, dining with spirits, and other haunted attractions are available for those who want to experience more. Today, and for the last 35 years, the RMS Queen Mary has many attractions, not just those associated with the paranormal. They have weddings, live local bands, and host an annual golf classic. She is a big, beautiful ship and is quite awesome to stay in. We were able to explore much of the ship, read about her history, and take some amazing pictures. The Queen Mary was a ship destined to stand in a class all her own. She was luxurious, dignified, and the height of sophistication at the time. She served dutifully in World War II, and she is a very beautiful hotel to stay in. I hope you've learned a little bit about the RMS Queen Mary, her 31 years service, and her ghostly events that attract many today. Thank you very much.
Hey, good job. That was great.
Everyone, that was good?